stop what you're doing and scan this QR code right here on my left, and it'll take you to athletelogos.com/collection/Detroit, where you can get the best Detroit Lions and Detroit Tigers merch right here in the off season, while it's still the dog days of the spring, summer right behind. Stock up on merch, hitting this QR code right here on my left. Take you to athletelogos.com, and don't forget, go Lions.
Welcome in. We're the Honolulu Blues. I'm Nick. That's Julius. We're missing Adam, but it's all right. We're going to have a good time today. We got some Detroit Lions news. We're just going to pretty much recap the news that happened throughout the week. But before we get into our Detroit Lions, we always like to start the show off with our Detroit sports. Detroit Pistons took a tough loss yesterday, but have clinched the playoffs. First time since when? Like 2018, I think, 7 years ago, right?
Something like that.
Something of that nature. I know we haven't won a playoff game in like a decade. We've gotten swept the last 2 times we went in. We're going to cut that out this year. I cannot wait to see who we play. We got the Knicks and then the Bucks, the last 3 games of the season. That really will kind of dictate where we fall in the playoff standings. The Tigers started out with a clean sweep against them by the Dodgers, got their asses torched, but came back against Seattle, 2 games out of that. Won the first 2 games against Chicago. We'll finish that series today right after this show. And then our Red Wings, 6 points out with like 6 games to go. It is down to, you have to win every single game from here on out and hope for the best. So that's kind of the recap of the Detroit sports. Julius, kind of talk to me about all the sports, whatever sports you want to talk about, how we're feeling. Ooh, you muted? Doesn't look like you're muted, but we can't hear you. I also don't see the muted sign on you.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why I was muted. I think it was the mic, but ignore that. We're going to edit that out. I was talking about the Tigers, first of all, because I'm starting to get into Tigers mode as they've won the last 4 or 5. We're pretty competitive against the all-world mighty Dodgers. But I really love the Tigers right now. They're playing early games on the weekend. It's April. It's just great. The Red Wings, it's part of the reason I'm so into the Tigers right now, bro, is because the Wings have let me down just again. Once again, they are not the Wings of our childhood just yet. As Steve Yzerman still works to try to build whatever he's trying to build there. And then the Pistons, we're just waiting on the playoffs, baby. Cade's back. Not even worried. We're looking at the 5th seed, maybe 6th seed, nothing lower than that. Could be the Pacers 4 or 5. Pistons Pacers rivalry. I love that. I love it. I don't even know how to react to the Pistons because it's been so long. But it's a pretty good April in the D, my man.
Dude, it is a great April in the D. The thing is with the Pistons. Okay, so I was looking it up while you were talking. 4 games to go. Kings, Knicks, Bucks. Last game is next Sunday. So we have 1 week left of regular season Pistons basketball. We'll do one more show, and then we're in playoff mode, man.
They're going to win a playoff series, and we're going to change the name of the show.
Here's the thing. That might be true. We might have to change it to the Honolulu Pistons. I don't know. Honolulu Stones, you know what I mean? Go Stones. Here's my freaking terrible scheduling, and I'll just say it right here. Like, I decide we do a hiking trip, me and my buddies, every year. It's always May. But this year, May was very booked for all 7 guys. Like every person had something going on each weekend. We found out the best weekend was the last weekend of April. So we're all going last weekend of April. But what didn't jog to my memory was, 1, we're leaving Wednesday night to go to West Virginia with no phone service the day before the NFL draft. So I'm not going to be anywhere near anything that will tell me who the Lions draft all weekend. This is the first NFL draft I won't be watching from beginning to end, the whole 7 rounds, 3 days. It's killing me a little bit. Like, it's kind of killing me a little bit, but whatever. I'm getting through it. But now if the Pistons beat the Pacers or even get late into the series against the Pacers,
cancel plans, bro.
I might have to cancel plans, bro. I might just have to be like, this trip's not for me this year, boys. Like, I got the Stones, I got the draft. Like, I can't be missing this, dude. I can't be missing it. So I don't know. It's a conundrum for me. But the Pistons, the Tigers, they're looking good. Tigers are currently right now. I tweeted this out earlier. We're first place in the division. 154 games to go. We control our own destiny. Let's just win from here on out. Just win, baby, and we'll be good to go. So I'm excited to see how the Tigers, we got Jackson Jobe on the mound again today. If you don't follow the Tigers and you're not familiar, watch today's game, dude. Jobe is the real deal. He could be our next Verlander.
If any game he's going to do it against the White Sox.
It's against, dude. Could we get like a Jackson Jobe one hitter today?
Oh, that'd be lovely.
That would be lovely. But all right, we're not here to talk about Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers all show. We're gonna go through the news and recap kind of what we saw throughout the week. So let's get into that.
Breaking news! Breaking news!
First and foremost, we're spanning all week. This might be a little bit of old news to some people, but we haven't been able to talk about it. So Julius, I want to hear your thoughts, I would say Mr. Grit. This is honestly, I would probably say Mr. Grit for all of the Detroit Lions players. St. Brown's close, Hutch is close. John Cominsky, to me, was Mr. Grit for these first few years. Maybe not last year. We didn't get to see him on the field. Obviously, the year before that, he was a little injured. But when we were down, when we were 1-6, or when we were 3-3, this guy was the one who just seemed to always bring everything he had. He just reminded me of a Dan Campbell type player. But unfortunately, John Cominsky has retired from the NFL. So, Julius, I just want to hear some everlasting thoughts about Cominsky as a Lion, but also just why you think he went to this early retirement, and just any kind of thoughts, comments, concerns on Cominsky retiring.
Well, Nick, I mean, I really like that term, Mr. Grit. I think we should give out a Mr. Grit award every year. From here on out in honor of Cominsky. But John Cominsky, you're right. He was you could tell he was a player that was singled out by Dan Campbell for his persona, his effort. I mean, he had some production too in quite a few games where down the line he was on the other side. I used to get him and Aiden Hutchinson mixed up a lot on the field. I'd be like, oh, it's not because they're both white, but
that skin collection, dude. We all look alike, don't we?
Yeah, I think Cominsky was also like 6'5", 270, so they're not too far off.
That eye black too.
They did wear the eye black, but the reason I was always able to tell Cominsky apart was he had that giant glove on his hand. He never really, I think he broke his thumb the first training camp he was with the Lions, and he never took that club off. That club actually forced a couple fumbles looking back as well, but yeah, I really like Mr. Grit. RIP to him. I mean, he just had too many injuries. You're playing with a club on your hand for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
One of the seasons you're on the IR the whole year. I mean, he was one of the first casualties of the whole 2024-25 injury-riddled Lions catastrophe. I think he was one of the first in training camp preseason. I'm not sure when it happened, but it was like, oh, Cominsky went down. Oh, that sucks. A few weeks later, there goes Aiden. So it was like a sign of the time. So it's unfortunate, but I think we've replaced him. I think they kind of tried to replace him last year with Davenport. So Davenport is the new try not to be career ender Cominsky. Shout out to John Cominsky though. Club hand.
And he really first year we go 3-13. He plays what did I see here? It didn't tell me amount of games because I think we got him like mid-season.
Yeah, he was a waiver. We got him on the waiver wire from Atlanta.
Yeah. And it was the biggest waiver wire. We were number 1 in the waiver order at the time, and we used it on him. And I think it was
half the league put in a claim for him.
Yep. We were not the only ones who wanted him. He was young. he was a stud and he was Mr. Great. And he worked out great for us. I think he taught Hutchinson a lot, probably behind the scenes stuff we didn't really realize, you know what I mean? And so his first year with us, he finished with 4 sacks, 36 tackles, or 30 tackles, has a great year in 2022. In 2023, 36 combined tackles, 2 sacks, a little bit of a drop off, but still was out there. We didn't need him as much as we did that 3 and 13 year when we really just didn't have anyone. We didn't have Hutch at that time. We bring Hutch in, and Cominsky wasn't as needed, in my opinion. It was like the Charles Harris too. Like we had Charles Harris and Cominsky that first year, and they did more damage than I assumed or expected. And then Hutch and Cominsky, and then Cominsky, I was really excited for last year. And then, like you said, he was one of the first casualties of the bad luck Lions last year when it came to injuries. And it's not like we were getting rid of him. He retired. So here's one theory real quick. Do you think John Cominsky is on the Detroit Lions coaching staff next year?
Hot take, Nick.
Hot take.
It's a great analogy. I mean, like you said, he did seem to be a mentor in the defensive line room, specifically to Aiden Hutchinson. I could see a lot of early retirement players end up coaches, so I could definitely see that.
That's what I'm thinking. Just a theory, but I do like to believe that. I like to believe that he's going to be a really good coach because he just seems like he has that. But he could obviously just choose to go, fishing and go farming and just spend his whole life doing that. He's made enough money, whatever he decides to do, he's going to be great at it. He was great at coming in and changing the culture for the Lions. We needed a guy to come in and understand that Dan Campbell was like who he was. And we had guys like Jamal Williams, like we had guys buying into the culture, but to add this edge rusher that also just joined right in and bought in, it was really, really nice. Shout out to John Cominsky. We hope nothing but the best for your future endeavors. But we'll keep it moving on here. We got some other news. Still not great news for our defensive line as Cominsky retired. Dan Campbell came out and basically announced that Aleem McNeil, old Dream, is not going to be ready for week 1. And we hope that he's ready for the end of the season. But even that, Campbell and Holmes both said that they're just going to play it by ear. They're not putting an expectation. He should be back by week 8. He'll be back by week 10. They're just saying he's not back by training camp. He will not be here for the start of the season. He tore his ACL last year. Do you remember what week it was? Like week 13?
It was late in the season.
Late in the season. I tore my ACL when I was 19, and it still took me 9 months to like recover, but I was still never my own self. I still to this day, I like to think I am, but like there's sometimes that when I cut, my mind goes to my knee, even though it doesn't hurt. My mind goes to it like, oh no. So I'm not an NFL player. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to play the NFL. So like that can creep in my head, but hopefully Aleem can get that out. We love him. We hope the best for him, best recovery and coming back. But just what are your thoughts on this, on Campbell's statement about McNeil, maybe him not being back for the first half of the season, if not longer, just all in around? Muted again. God, that's 2 for 2 today, baby. 2 for 2 mute.
Not the best news, and I kind of expected it because of how late in the season he went down. But it kind of opens up my mind to thinking that the Lions could use that first round pick on a defensive tackle. And also it opens my mind to thinking that we're not done adding free agency help at defensive tackle. I just think that we can't start the season with nothing but like what's his name? I always forget his name. Lopez. Roy Lopez. I always want to say Kyle Lopez.
You said it last show too, and I was reading the show and was like, I think he's thinking Kyle Pecco.
Right. I was thinking Kyle Pecco. That's why I get them mixed up. These reserve defensive tackle, nose tackles, they're just not going to cut it for what the Lions need to stop in the great black and blue division that is the NFC North. The Lions need to find somebody to go inside that's not Broderick Martin, that can help Aiden Hutchinson and whoever, Marcus Davenport, Josh Pascal, these players penetrate more inside. We need more inside penetration. We play man-to-man defense 80% of our snaps. That requires that we get to the quarterback or that we get into the backfield. We penetrate. We just cannot leave an open backfield for too long. That requires an effective nose tackle or 3 technique, which Aleem McNeil was a top 10 at his position at. You just cannot go into the season. We're not talking about training camp or preseason. We're talking about the regular season. We cannot go into the regular season with Kyle, a.k.a. Roy Lopez, as our starting defensive tackle, okay? Or we cannot push Josh Pascal inside and pretend he's a defensive tackle. He's a big defensive end, okay? I think we draft a defensive tackle in the first or second round of this draft.
Okay. So I'll bring this up here. I'm going to politely disagree. So I'll bring this up, and for anyone who can see, this is our defensive.
I forgot about DJ Reader.
So obviously Reader's going to be your nose tackle, and Aleem's at the DT. But we're going to be without Aleem. It's not. I don't think it's Roy Lopez coming in. I do think that's going to be a Levi's spot, right? I think we're going to keep him in there just like this is showing. I know he can play both edge and tackle, but while Aleem's out, I bet we have him. We still have Mekhi Wingo. We went and re-signed Pat O'Connor and Miles Adams. We still have Broderick Martin.
So you're good with the depth.
I am good with. Yes, I am. So last show I preached about overloading the edge rushers, but I'm very confident with our. I don't know why I was into special teams, but I'm very confident in the depth of these defensive linemen here. I really, really am. I
like this. I like that you pulled up the depth chart because I forget about Levi O and I forget about DJ Reader.
Exactly.
DJ Reader is the nose. We know that. But Aleem McNeil does play like 90% of the snaps on defense.
He does. And he's great. And you said it right. He's a top 10 player of the position. And no, Pat O'Connor and Levi Onwuzurike and Miles Adams are not replacing him by any means, but they're filling that gap, in my opinion, enough so that we don't draft a defensive tackle first. Now, my own argument to my own rebuttal to help you, or not help you, but to be on your side, is that Reader is probably done after this year. Like, we got him, I believe, a 2-year contract. I believe this is his last year. Yeah. I don't think we re-sign him. I don't think we get anyone. So if we did, it's yes for this year, but also in hopes that defensive tackle, whomever it may be, maybe it's like, I don't know, Kenneth Grant or something like that from Michigan. Like, who knows who falls? Yeah. But if we get that person, he might be a next year flourishing guy, and this year might be, starting to start because he might be better than Levi Onwuzurike to start. But I just don't know. I don't know if I believe it. Onwuzurike could be injured, and that could push this guy. So there are, you don't want to start the season with Miles Adams as your starting DT alongside DJ Reader. You don't want that. Yeah. So if you have worry, if not you, but if Brad Holmes or the scouting team in the front office has a little bit of concern that Levi's not going to be ready for the whole season, I can see where you're coming from getting a DT. I really, really can. But yes, I do like the depth there. It's going to stink not having McNeil. He's that good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It
stink when he went down. That was the L to Washington right there.
I agree. More so than Carlton Davis. Obviously, Hutch was the biggest one, but after Hutch, with Derek Barnes or Malcolm Rodriguez or Carlton Davis.
But we were hanging on with the lean. We were hanging on.
Yeah. You're exactly right. And once that fell, dude, our
run defense fell apart once that fell. We couldn't stop the run after that.
It was tough. And that's what he's so important about. What else is so important is jersey numbers. And that's something we will be seeing from the beginning of the year. We got some new jersey numbers, so let's add this to the stage and let's break it down a little bit here. Here, let me get rid of this so we can actually see everything. We are looking at the new numbers for our Detroit Lions. A lot of things pop here. Julius, what's the first thing that pops to you? First thing.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Agent Zero, right at the top. That was Terrion Arnold. Jahmyr Gibbs was a Pro Bowl running back who wore number 26, which I didn't know this. He actually hated wearing that number. So now that I know that he hated wearing that number, I hated him wearing that number too. So I am happy that he is 0. I'm happy that Terrion Arnold accepted 6. What else pops off to you on this chart?
Well, first thing that pops off is that I have the wrong banner up, so that's nice. Let's go fly that down to the new number. And then the first thing that pops off after Gibbs, I'm gonna leave the low-hanging fruit a little bit because I want to talk about Terrion Arnold going to 6. I think this is a prediction, I guess.
Okay.
But a statement from him. 6 picks this year. Six picks this year it's a breakout season. People, what? He didn't even have a single one last year. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling you, quarterbacks are going to try to avoid Branch and Kirby even more so than they already were. Carlton Davis was very good last year, but DJ Reed's going to be very good this year. They're going to have to throw to Arnold. And if we stay healthy in our defensive line, we get McNeil back and stuff like that halfway through the season. Hopefully our linebackers stay healthy. We're going to be pushing a lot of quarterbacks to throw that ball quick. We play a lot of good quarterbacks, but a lot of quarterbacks that will air it out and really kind of get that ball and trust their receivers. And if Arnold can jump those and really start to get a feel for ball hawking, there is a small chance that he does what Amani Aurorier did a few years ago, finishes the season with 6 or 7 picks. And it would be nuts. It would be crazy. It is a spicy, bold take, but I love it. I also like getting the number 0 off of Arnold. I feel like the number 0 brings a lot of pressure right now because it's the new number that you can use. If you're going to wear it, it seems like you got to be good. Gibbs is the perfect guy for that. Arnold,
especially on defense, because it's hard to play the corner and be agent 0. No catches, no touchdowns.
100%.
It's impossible, bro.
100%. So that was the big one that stuck out to me was Terrion Arnold taking 6. What's the next thing that sticks out to you?
Let's see. For one, I don't know who Maurice Norris is. Who took
Morris? It's not
Gibbs.
Maurice. His name's Morris Norris, and it's
Morris
one of the
Norris.
coolest names I've ever heard in my life.
Who is he?
Some dude, some cornerback we got. Should we bring the depth chart back up? Hold on.
Look, I'm gonna be seeing 26 on the field, thinking he's a playmaker. The whole time he a gunner.
Morris Norris is backing up Kirby Joseph at strong safety. No, backing up Kirby Joseph at free safety with Eric Hallett behind him. So there's 2 names we need to know.
Sounds like a special teams boss.
Yeah.
But anyways, next thing that pops out, I see Enos Rakestraw changed his number
to the number of interceptions he'll have. No,
J-Mo. What's up with J-Mo?
Going back to his college roots, dude.
There we
go. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going back to
maybe this is the breakout number 1. Much love to J-Mo. I have high hopes for J-Mo.
I think when we see one flying down the field, it's gonna look like Flash Gordon, dude. It's gonna be, you're just gonna hear the Queen song, Flash, savior of the universe.
You think this is the hot take of J-Mo's? You think this is him saying, I'm wide receiver 1 in reality? I think I even brought that up on the show a few times where it looks like in some games, J-Mo looks like he's our best wide receiver, and Amon-Ra looks like he's one of the best slot receivers in the league. That's no disrespect to my guy, God. I love Amon-Ra to death. But hey, J-Mo, prove us. Show us.
Give it to us, dude.
1,800-yard season.
Golly, he can do it, dude. Especially with the way Goff was targeting him last year. If that continues to grow, like the thing is we just have so many talented guys on our team that
nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that stats aren't going to be the top of the top. You know what I mean? He ain't getting. I doubt he's getting 18. Yeah, he's not giving Matthew Stafford just rip him the ball 15 times a game and just see how it goes. So
Amon-Ra get that before J-Mo.
Yeah, I agree. Some other notable things here. We did sign Rock Ya-Sin. Love to see that. Wearing Michael Jordan's number 23. 99 new for Broderick Martin. I kind of like it. Like it just fits Broderick Martin. I hope this number change is what he needs to really push himself up. And then other than that, we got we got the numbers for the guys. Roy Lopez, your boy Kyle, 51. Grant Stewart, 15. Tim Patrick goes from 17 to 12. We got a new T12, not TB12, but a TP12. Ronnie Bell takes 10. Muhammad takes 96. Kenny takes 88. And like we talked about, Morris Norris, one of my favorite names in the NFL, will take number 26, Jahmyr Gibbs' old number. So those are the new numbers. Are you going to go and get Are you either any of these number changes or new additions? Maybe I'm not. Who am I to say? Make you be like, all right, I'm going to buy a new jersey tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I gotta get the Gibbs zero.
They all already got a couple Gibbs jerseys. Me and my son. I mean, I'm heartbroken that he changed his number because those jerseys. I don't want Morris Norris jersey. I want
so
Agent Zero, Jahmyr Gibbs, the best running back in football, number 0. I want that jersey. So if anything, it's just more money out of my pocket.
Do you think that though, in the long run, that 26 Gibbs, if he makes Hall of Fame, goes up in price because it was such
for sure. If he goes to Hall of Fame, if he wins the Super Bowl, yeah.
This possibility becomes vintage.
It got to be the Lions 26. He got to win the Super Bowl. He got to go to Hall of Fame.
What if we win it in 2026? So it's like the
that jersey is going to skyrocket. He might switch to 26 if we win it.
You know what? I liked it the whole time, dude. I loved it the whole time. All right. I love that. Let's keep it moving. Let's go talk about a new rule that the NFL has put in place. New overtime rule. Both teams will possess the ball. We haven't seen you're trying to get that thing back up. I see. That's overlay, brother. Overlay. So we haven't really been into a position where the game is like, we need to have the ball back in overtime. I believe last year, the only overtime, we got the ball first and went and dominated. Like, right? We didn't give the Rams another chance.
No, correct.
There we go. So what do you think about this? Not so much for the Lions, just for the NFL. Like, both teams, no matter what, you go score a touchdown, no matter what. You've played this long 60-minute game. Now you're in overtime. You just played 7 minutes. Team went. David Montgomery drove down, scored a touchdown. You got 6 minutes left. Do you like this rule? What do you think?
I like it because it gives your team more of a chance to win. However, it also gives your team more of a chance to tie
or lose.
Do they allow the game to go past one overtime in the regular season? It's going to be a shit ton more ties next year, Nick. And the Lions might be on the side of 2 or 3 of them. So I don't know. Like I said, it gives your team, okay, they scored first. You got another shot. Best offense in the league, Detroit Lions, let's go. However, are you going to tie it and it's going to be a tie? It's just, I don't know.
2.
I guess it's one of those things, like a lot of the past rules that's been changed. I really like that they come together in off season and get these do this. I really like it. Mm-hmm. It makes every season more interesting, but I just got to see for myself, just like a lot of the other rules.
So I like the idea of having both teams possess the ball. My big thing, though, is I don't want it to be like this. I don't want it to be a kickoff. I don't want it to be just a regular NFL. Get me the college football rules, but make it NFL standard. So you start with the ball at the 40-yard line. Okay? And you go, and whatever happens, happens. And the next team goes, and whatever happens, happens. And you can do that 2 different times. Then you have one play from the 5-yard line. So if you're still tied after 2 teams driving from the 40, you start doing play by play. Each team has one play, just like college. Now you got like one play. You're instead of the 2 or the 3 in college, you're at the 5 in the NFL. You have one play. If you score a touchdown, great. If you don't, the other team has a chance to come win it. If they don't, then they stay on the field. They go first, and the other team will, you know what I mean? And you're just going to keep rotating until you have a winner. No ties. Just eliminate all ties so that what you're talking about, the abundance of ties that we may get now, is not what anyone in the NFL world wants.
Well, why won't they go away with ties?
I don't know.
There's not a rule. There's not a rule change that's brought up in the meeting, in the annual meeting. Oh, let's get rid of ties in the regular season.
But do you think it's moving that way?
Maybe. I don't know. I just think that the college regular season, like you alluded to, just means more. Yeah. Just because there's just a fewer games.
Yeah.
So I just think with the NFL rule, it's more of a bargaining. NFL, like the players, they're like, oh, we don't want to subject ourselves to a 3 overtime game in week 4, week 5.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But it's a step in the right direction. They didn't take the Lions' new rule, which was defensive holding is not an automatic first down. I wish they would have accepted
I wish they
that.
would have. Yeah.
It just seems like the NFL could kind of go back to more man. You get more man-on-man coverage, which would be so much more fun. But people are like, well, of course the Lions submitted that because they led the league and they run man all the time. And the Jets were the only team that agreed with it because it's Aaron Glenn and he's going to run man all the time. Well, okay, but we shouldn't all have to play zone football. Zone football sucks, dude. I don't want to watch that. Like, let these boys play man-on-man, one-on-one, take reps against each other like they did back in the day. So I wish they would have, but they didn't. And that's pretty much all we had to talk about the new rules. I think there was a couple other new rules, but nothing to really talk about. Let's get to this because I thought this was really fun. So let's see what we got here. Hold on one second. That's our boy right there.
Hey.
That's our boy. We'll play one more time. Look at him running. It looks so good. I want to watch it one more time just because it looks so good.
Damn, he's bad.
Do you remember that first video we saw of him running like a week after the Super Bowl?
Yep.
And he looked like a freaking three-legged dog trying to run around. Like it was it was gross. Like it was like he was not playing in the Super Bowl if we got there.
Sure.
This video, I'm like, oh, like we're back, dude. Like we're getting there. Like he will be back for the first game of the season. And I have been saying for a while now, I don't know if he's going to be the same Hutch that he was the first couple years. I may have been completely wrong. I hope
he gonna be the same Hutch.
I hope someone recorded that and puts me on blast because like I would gladly be wrong. That looked fast. That looked fast. He was what do you call it?
Zigzag.
Yeah, but what do you call it when you're serpentine? No, that's not right.
Serpentine? No.
When you're running, you're supposed to do that when you're running from an alligator. They can't go in like that, right?
Oh yeah. I know you're talking.
Whatever the hell that's called. Anyways, he was doing well at that. You heard him grunting. You know what I mean? Like he was giving it. Talk to me about this, dude. Talk to me about your feelings on Hutch running.
I just feel like we're lucky, guys. We're lucky Lions fans that he got hurt in week 5. I want to say that was against the Cowboys and not week 13 like Aleem McNeil. Because if he did, he would not be coming back and running like this right now. But he got so hurt early in the season, it broke our hearts. Our hearts are shattered. It ruined our season. It was the start of an injury hell for the Lions. However, the light at the end of the tunnel was how early in the season he got that leg snapped because it allowed him so much time to fight back and become himself again. And I agree with you, Nick. The comeback is on. He's bringing it, bro. He's gonna. I expect Aiden Hutchinson back in his 100% true form, if not better. He's gonna improve. He just has that in him. He had it in him before he got hurt, and now he still has it in him after injury. And I want to congratulate Lions fans for having the tiniest little bit of luck in the hellscape of injuries that we endured. That the worst of the injuries, the best player that got injured so early last season.
It's true. It's a silver lining. You're right. Yeah, that's the silver lining of it is like he got injured early. He's coming back. And unless you're Adrian Peterson, you don't get hurt. You don't get hurt late in the season and just come back and rush for 2,000 yards. You know what I mean? Like it's just Hutchinson could be the defensive Adrian Peterson though. He didn't get hurt late, but like he could be back and be better than ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be too scared to even suggest or predict that he may break the NFL sack record this year.
Next year, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see how this goes. I am ecstatic to see him running like this. I got like goosebumps when I first saw it. My jollies got up. Like, I am so excited. I was just so nervous. Every week I would say the same thing. Like, I don't think Hutch is good. Maybe it's like, if you set yourself up for failure, you'll never be disappointed, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I just tell myself Hutch isn't going to be that good. So if he comes out and he gets 4 sacks this year, I'm just like, yeah, that's all right. That's kind of what I predicted. Yeah. But now that we're like 65 days away from mandatory minicamp, I'm getting pretty excited again. Like I'm like, bring him back, dude. Bring it back. We just got a few more things to talk about. One thing I wanted to bring up was this right here. I'm going to add this to the stage. Detroit Lions, here, I'll get rid of this overlay, have the highest ticket prices when it comes to resale in the NFL. It's gross. Like, it's really gross. I don't like it. And people are like, well, we're winning. This is the price that comes along with winning. Find the Kansas City Chiefs for me. Are they the top? Ooh, no. Are they in the top row? Oh, no. Are they in the second to top row? Oh, no. They're in the bottom average of ticket prices, and they have been to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. They have the most entertaining NFL player on their team. And they are selling tickets for an average of $102. We have been good for 2 years. And we are selling our tickets for $250 on regular resale. I'm not saying the Lions are doing this. This is resale tickets. It's like SeatGeek. So this is where resale goes. But I don't know, man. I think the Lions got to do something about resale. They already cut off someone's season tickets. They removed someone's season tickets that were a season ticket holder for 20 years, and people were up in arms about it. And it's because he broke the resale deal. I am about that. If you're going to own season tickets and then just try to use that to make money for the fall for Christmas or something like that, don't buy the tickets. Use the money that you would have spent on those tickets for your Christmas presents, for your holiday vacation, for your freaking whatever. Like, it pisses me off that we have the most resale. This is not, and I saw an article where it was like, well, Rod Wood was like, no, this, like, it's up to snuff. Like, this is market. This is what we're doing. Like, and I saw the article was he's blind, but that's so incorrect. It's not the Lions selling these tickets for this much. Now, I'm not saying they're not pricing their tickets in the very get-go. This is Detroit Lions fans. Or
there you go. Like,
this isn't on the Lions. Take accountability if you're the one doing this. For the guy who lost his season tickets, this is on you. For the next person who's about to lose their season tickets because they're going to do this, I blame you. I hate to see this, and it just shows you that we can't have nothing nice. Nothing nice we can own. Do you have any thoughts about this? I wanted to get this rant off. I had it kind of boiling up all week after I saw this, so I just wanted to get that out there. Julius, you got anything to say about it?
It's a righteous rant, bro, and I honestly want to say you're correct that it's 100% on the fan base, and I just want to moonwalk back to last week. We even posted a reel where I talked about the Lions being a cult. We have a cult following, and if you bring that chart back up, I would argue to say that this chart is a cult following leaderboard. The Lions have the #1 cult following of fans in the NFL. And the reason being is because we have suffered for so many decades. We are one of the only original NFL teams to never even appear in a Super Bowl. So we are desperate. And if you look at the chart after the Lions, you see more desperation. Outside of the Eagles, who are just batshit idiotic crazy, the Raiders, the Niners, the Bears. The Bears, you might not. We talk a lot of shit about the Bears. The Bears are cult following light. They are right behind us. Any sign of a turnaround in their culture and success and the Chicagoland area will explode in NFL fandom. They will supplant the Lions on this list because that's how much suffering that the Bears fans have been going through since 1985. So shout out to the Lions. It just proves my point that we're just as batshit crazy about winning just as any other fan base in NFL, if not the #1 fan base in NFL. We want to win.
It's true. And we stopped right at the Bears, but if you keep looking, like you say, desperation comes. The Packers, whatever, they got Super Bowl, but the Bengals are just dying for their Super Bowl.
Yep,
the Bills are dying for their Super Bowl.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys are dying for their Super Bowl. Yep. And then, so my question to you, Julius, is this. If we win the Super Bowl this year, we did it, right? We finally did it. We finally did it. People are like, rejoicing during
Yeah.
the parade. Do you think these ticket prices start to go down?
Then we become the Eagles on this chart. We become the Eagles and the Niners, where our success is sustained to a certain point but it's not. But the hype is still there.
Right.
The Eagles just won a Super Bowl, but their fans are still hyped for the next couple years about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the bottom of this list: the Saints, the Jags, the Cardinals, the Panthers. I don't never hear from these fans in life. I don't know one Saints fan. I don't know one Jags fan. I don't know one hype Cardinals fan. This is what this chart is. It's an excitement chart. And the Lions and the fan base right now are the most excited. So we're the dumbest and going to pay the most for our tickets.
It's true. It's harsh, but it's true. He's got to say
it's true.
It's harsh, but it's true. That's pretty much going to do it for our show. We had a couple of things we'll talk about. Just real quick, I did want to bring up Hutchinson Kirby extension. Do you think it comes this offseason or no?
Hutchinson and Kirby, both players.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. I can definitely see it because Brad Holmes has come out publicly and said that he's saving the pot of money for the players that he put in the foundation, and both of those guys are a part of it.
Exactly. I expect both of them happen by draft day. I think last year we had
there's a certain date, I believe, that it's beneficial.
Yeah, and I bet we're going to be right around there. So I agree. Other than that, we're the Honolulu Blues. I'm Nick. That's Julius. We're missing Adam. He'll be back hopefully next week. We appreciate you watching. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitch. We are on it
everywhere.
Everywhere. Make sure you go check us out. And as always, go.